is locked. Oh. This ain't gonna work. Should have did a gun. Yeah. Nobody in here? Jesus, weird doing it with just one person. Squeaky ass chair. Who's this guy? One person. These rooms should take a little while to fill up when it's a much smaller YouTube channel. What does this thing do here? Top chat. Live chat messages all visible. What does this thing do? Whoa. Ooh. No, we're not doing that. Alright, how do I get out of this? Normal. What if it's too late for people to show up? What time is it? 9? 8? There we go. We got 4 people in here. There we go. Oh, you again? Hey, what's up? So someone's already gotten a message blocked. Hopefully we won't get inundated by terrorists tonight. You're the beast. What's up? Best. Hello, everybody. Well, that's interesting. And for like 5 minutes, there was like nobody in here. And all of a sudden, people came in. Ron Swanson. What is that? Ron Swanson.
Here is some information about Ron Swanson.
That's funny. So everybody sees the title of the video, or the... I'm going to have to block you, Ferris95, if you bring your noodle friends in here again. Oh, boy, let me get this dang thing out of the way. Oh, Jesus. I'm in a hotel room in Texas. How do we get this to come back up? The boat is gone. The boat is sold. And money was transferred into my account today. I got to get up early. I guess it depends on where you live. No, I don't think it'll be a three-hour live stream. I don't have any brewskis or whiskey or rum or anything tonight. I got a little bit of what the heck did I just put that? I got some Gatorade and some peanuts. I'm just passing through Texas. So here's a question. First question of the evening. Did I make a profit on my boat? We'll get to that one because when I first started out, how did you structure your time? Not quite sure what that means. Is if I had work, I went to work. If I didn't have work, I didn't go to work, or I was trying to find work on Craigslist, because this was 2008. So a lot of the social media options we have today to promote ourselves weren't available 11 years ago, back in 2008, 2007. So is that kind of what we're talking about? I really wasn't that busy. There wasn't much people weren't spending much money in '08 through 2012. Those first 4 years I worked, there wasn't much work. I probably worked 4 months solid, like on a regular schedule, my first full year, 100% self-employed. And I did relocate at that time also. So that also put a dent into the initial growth, is because I was just new to the area. What's the topic tonight? I thought what's the title of this live stream, cable guy? If you don't mind, at a client's house, do you do 8 to 6? Like what hours would I feel comfortable going to a customer's house to do work? I think that might be the question. It's different for everyone. Usually I don't get there very early because, like, take the remodel. A lot of the, like, I got like 9 videos out on it. Well, they've got a whole bunch of kids, and in the morning, everybody's getting ready for work, everybody's getting ready for school and out the door. They don't need the handyman, all up in their business at 7, 8 in the morning. And in the evening, it really depends on what time they get home from work. I also don't want to be disrupting their evening, so I just work with what hours are convenient for me to be there and not be disruptive. Here we go. So is there a title to this live stream? Anybody? Anyone? Here's a question. I can't pronounce your name, Dan. I got the first part. Is $1,500 too low for a 10-foot base cabinet? Open faced, but customer supplies all lumber. I don't know. Just as an example, I'll be building 2 small, God, what was the distance? 2 36-inch open cabinets. That's basically one shelf, painted. And because of how much work they've given me, it was $1,500 for those 2 cabinets. I supply all the wood, which is not really a huge part of a $1,500 bill. So I think, is it stained? It's got to be a little more descriptive. And also, you got to learn to value your time and what that product or that cabinet, what the customer values that as. It's not uniform across the country. What's up? When you went out solo, did you try to stay to a certain hours? No, that's something we got to talk about, because the inspiration for this video is a discussion that a friend of mine and I had about how many hours a week do you work? I go, work all of them. Every hour that I have available to work, I work. So that's like going up to a small farmer and asking a farmer, how many hours a week do you work? Do you know how much you make an hour? And that farmer is going to give you the strangest look you've ever seen. Like, are you serious? I work all the hours. This is my life. It's not a job. So that is about the entrepreneur title of this live stream. And most people who are used to working like an hourly rate as an employee don't quite get it. And I wanted just to discuss with all 60 of you. Maybe we'll get up to 100, and just see what your opinions are on that word entrepreneur. Um, do you get it that you work every hour? You go to sleep thinking about work. You wake up. You're in a hotel room in Texas. I mean, I'm the whole trip here. I was either editing videos or negotiating sponsorships through email. Um, it never stops when you are an entrepreneur. I was riding passenger. There's 4 guys on this trip, so I wasn't driving and typing the emails. Stained, and also Dan with the really something Dabrowski, Ambrowski. When I first started getting these cabinet jobs, I just wanted the practice. I would allow myself extra time and not put myself to a schedule so that I could learn and also grow that part of my business to put my workshop to use. Is I would focus on future growth, not the dollar figure of that one cabinet or that one barn door or that one bed frame. I was looking out to the future. How can I work from home? How can I make my workshop work? Well, the only way that's going to work is if I have a demand for my work. And that's what I focused on, is creating a demand for my work. Let's see here. Hammer the like button. Yeah, hammer that like button. Hey, Sid54. I think I saw you. I did a 3-hour live stream on Instagram 2 nights ago, I think it was. And I'm trying to keep everybody straight. Do you have, oh boy, I've got to read this one first. Let's see here. I was single when I made that transition. So I had like zero financial responsibility, zero life responsibility. That is a valid point, though. If you are, at a stage in life where you have kids to support, you need to provide health insurance for children and your wife. That is something to consider when you're going out to be a self-employed handyman or self-employed, brick mason. So that is something that I didn't have to deal with when I first started out. I could live off of like $100 a day. So this guy, I don't know if you guys remember the last one, there was all these Middle Eastern people typing terrorist stuff. Well, one of them showed up and he keeps trying to save something, but it says message retracted, message retracted. All right, Buds, woodworking. I'm assuming you're trying to build a woodworking business, and I'm kind of in the same boat. I would love to upgrade my workshop and make things for people. I think all of us would like to be able to do that, but it's about creating a demand for your work. You do have to make enough money to live. I had a big savings. I had sold a previous sailboat. Actually, I lived on the sailboat, the first sailboat. But I did have some savings, and I didn't have hardly any financial responsibility. So I focused mainly on creating a demand for my work. And that's kind of where I'm at now with building some sort of cabinets. I've got 2 of these fireplace mantle surrounds going on right now. Well, one's done and delivered, and the other one, I just filmed a video on it, I can't remember, 2 nights ago. The night before. Oh my God. Handyman, please see that KOS, I don't know what that means. KOSMOK something? Close. Am I too close? Oh, close to saying your name. I'm kind of catching up here. Dan. I got the Browski at the end. I can't get the middle part. Cabinets are custom cabinets were way more. Custom cabinets cost more when you have someone that wants to buy them. So if you're just getting started out, you gotta make yourself known. A safe bank before you went on your own. A year's supply of money for whatever your budget needs are. Oh God, we're gonna take care of this goofball. Maybe. How the hell do I get rid of this Yahoo? Maybe he's already gone. Oh, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Catch it back up. Hey, man, how do you deal with clients that call you over to estimate? I don't have that. Well, let me finish this guy's question. And I'll tell you why I don't have it and what I would do if I did have it. The situation this guy's talking about. How do you deal with clients that call you over to do an estimate and are still undecided on what she wants? How do you not waste your time? Well, I'm not sure if you mean about what the customer wants as far as the design of things, but I offer solutions to whatever they're trying to achieve. As far as they're trying to create another bedroom, I can offer solutions for that. Closet organization, anything to get the job. So you kind of got to be maybe a salesman to guide them in the right direction if they're very indecisive and don't know what the heck's going on. Okay. Okay, here we got Andrew Flynn. Do you put in extra hours a day to get time with the family, or even days to edit? Also, if you did, how long into starting your business did or do enough work? Well, I don't have time off. I'm going to guess at what the last part of that means. That's the title of this video, is an entrepreneur. You don't think about getting time off. I would never take a day off unless people made me. The only reason we went to Hawaii is because my wife said we're going to Hawaii for Christmas, and I'm like, okay. The only reason I went to Florida last week was to sell the boat. And this week here, I don't know. I would rather be home working because my mind's constantly working, saying, okay, I got this, and this, and I'm going to be behind. So I'll be working to midnight. I don't know, every day. Midnight, 2, 3 in the morning, up at 7. Lou. This is a lot of people are missing my point in pricing jobs when you're starting out, is that you gotta talk to your customer and get an idea. You gotta ask the right questions, or just see what they're saying about. Someone asked about a project where quoting a job that a handyman has left and I have to clean it up. Should I quote hire because this guy couldn't finish the job? What you need to do is come up with a dollar figure that customer is going to value you. They're going to be like, wow, that's great. And the long-term skill is to sell that service at a high dollar value to the customer. I hope that answers the question. It's depends on every customer, and you have to figure it out what they value that service at. Yeah, I started low. Of course, I couldn't charge high. It was 2008, and nobody had any money. Um, I pretty much, I don't know. I had messed around with a lot of different approaches. I mean, I've said some really dumb things like, "Well, what's it worth to you?" Like, well, most people didn't have much money, and well, how much money do you have to spend on this? So there was a lot, thousands and thousands of different customer encounters over the years, to figure out how not to put your foot in your mouth and what to say, when to say it, and things like that. Well, that's good, Dan. Making money in the workshop would be nice. Yes, it would. I'm making a little bit of money. Nothing that I could support myself off of. But it's fun to break things up and to be able to stay in the workshop. Hey, TD, I wonder how far behind I am. 9:15. Oh, I'm like 7 minutes behind everybody reading these comments. Oh boy. Oh boy. Could you tell us? No, you can't have my name. Broski. All right. All right, we're going. Oh, someone asked about my boat. I did make I guess, a profit from what I purchased the boat at, from what I sold it. But purchase price of a large boat like that is nothing compared to maintenance and storage of a large boat. All right, coming up, coming up. Hopefully it's not bothering too many people that I'm this far behind. I remember saying you did Craigslist gigs. Yes. I did maybe 4 or 5 Craigslist gigs, and one of them panned out to be like a lifelong awesome customer, like 6 or 7 years now. And I just filmed a video for that customer. If any of you were on the Instagram live feed, I kind of started telling the story about the guy who called me from vacation in Italy 3 nights ago, I think it was. Will not be buying another large boat. A little water ski boat, if you live near a lake or something, makes sense. But like a big boat that people can sleep on and live on, that you store in another state in the ocean or on an island, man, just charter. Save your money. I was spending $4,000 a year just in storage fees. Dustin Tukey? I can't remember. I can't pronounce that. Do I find it? This is a good question because I kind of learned this from another guy. Do you find it rude to ask them their budget while estimating? Well, God, I wish I could do like a role-playing thing. So say we're looking at a simple bathroom remodel, and you have to ask the right questions. What type of vanity? Were you looking at tile? Were you looking of a shower pan, like a molded fiberglass one? Or did you want a tiled shower pan, custom glass doors? And you can got to get an idea of what they'd like, and then you can work in. So what type of a budget do you have to work with for some of these items? And if you don't want to be too direct and like, oh, how much can you afford? How much can I get you for? It's got to sound relevant to doing the work for them. So you can play around with it with your customers on, and that's something I used to do all the time. And they would say, okay, well, we're thinking $3,500, $4,000. And I said, yeah, we could definitely work with that budget. Now, we might not be able to get to a full tiled shower pan and custom shower glass doors, but there are options that we can do with that budget. I hope that helps you out, Dustin, and anybody else. it feels like it would be easier to get the dream budget. Oh, okay, it was a good question, Dustin. Live chat. There's no brown water tonight. The only thing I have to drink in here is some Gatorade. Come on, jeez, stop. This is interesting. All right, I'm trying to catch up here. I think I did catch up. All right, well, there we go. We're caught up. 9:25, 9:26. My watch is one different from YouTube. Those are some great questions. I'm going to want to talk, since we got a break in the questions. This friend of mine, he is an employee, and he was trying to figure out what I value my time at. Like, what is my hourly rate? And I said, well, are you talking like tools in the hand time, or like email time, drive time, time shopping for lumber, time researching different products? He's like, yeah, all that time counts. I go, well, then I don't make very much an hour, because almost every hour I'm doing some sort of work, and it's not work to me. It's just chasing that goal. And all right, we got to get rid of this jackass. Hide user on this channel. Boom. Goodbye. How did I find my? So that's the thing. When they're self-employed, and you can bust out, 40, 45 hours a week, you can make 50, 60 grand a year. Or you can be an entrepreneur and set these goals for yourself, and there is no work. It's just that challenge. It's kind of hard to put into words. I'll put a link. Once this live stream is over, I'm going to put a link in the description of my definition of an entrepreneur. And I got to do it on my laptop. It's too clunky to do that on the cell phone. So everybody, once this is over, it goes through a little bit of a processing period, and it's live as a YouTube video. I'll put one link, no Amazon links, no nothing, to my definition of an entrepreneur and why I do what I do, and it should make sense to some people. If it doesn't make sense to you, then you don't have it. All right, gonna go back here a little bit. Okay, we got rid of the terrorist. Someone asks, what program do you use for invoicing and estimates? I used to, for a very long time, have an Excel template, a spreadsheet that I made up, where I had my business name and phone number and everything, and there's little spots to type in the date and the customer's name, and if it was a bid or an invoice. And I would just manually type things out in the template, and I use Qt PDF Writer, so I can email a PDF copy of that. That's what I used for a long time. Nowadays, it's real easy to use an app like Market. I did a video on that a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point. And it streamlines things and does everything straight from a phone, so you don't need to get home, get on the laptop, and get going. So it's real user friendly from your phone. Okay, what's relative to the topic here? Any feedback on the hours and what your hourly rate is? Is there any confusion? Use Wave for my invoice. I think I've heard of Wave, just in reading it in the comments. What do I use to measure out materials for a privacy fence? I use a tape measure. Sorry. Tape measure and a pencil and a paper is all I use for most things. A lot of people have put, I don't know, someone has asked, would ever consider teaching or creating an instructor course online? I was approached by, God, was it the Family Handyman? That was like a year ago, in teaching an online course through a media, someone much larger than, larger internet presence than just me. I don't know if I'd ever do that. If it works for my long-term or short-term goals, then I would consider teaching something, but I'd rather just do this for free here and just answer questions because there really is no perfect outline. There's best practices, but there's just not enough content to create a full course. Like, we're going to start beating a dead horse on this channel because there really just isn't that much, that many secrets. And some of the secrets you can't tell on the internet. How many hours do you work in an average day? All of them. It's funny. It really aggravates me when people ask, how many hours do you work? All of them. Why the hell don't you? These clock punchers, they work 8 hours a day. What the hell? Maybe I sound like an old man. I used the analogy earlier. Go up to an old farmer and ask him, how many hours does he work in a day? He'll say, he'll give you a strange look. Tell you, I know some of them. Austin Acor basically asks why I haven't gone into general contracting sooner, and it's something I would do later, because babysitting subcontractors is really, really annoying. The construction industry is not made up of entrepreneurs. They're mainly slackers. I did manage subcontractors building houses, building buildings. God, I don't know how many years, 5 years. And it was like, we called it adult daycare. Basically, that's what it was. So I'm not looking forward to that. And I also said that I would make less money doing that, because the only way to make money in general contracting is you got to do volume. Can't just do 1-2 jobs a year. And I also don't like being stuck at one job site for a long period of time. It makes life boring. I like some change. I like new challenges. So it would be a small general contracting business, small bathrooms, focusing on really old homes. Okay, Gary's contracting. He's been in business for 4 years. He's struggling with estimates. What's my procedure? Okay, we're going to use the most recent project that's been going on the YouTube, on the main channel, the Handyman. I get a call from a customer. Luckily, I have finished their entire basement with a bar. Well, no, I removed the bar and put in a full, nice custom bathroom, bedroom, linked all the smoke detectors together, the whole 9 yards. And that was 2 years ago. And then one of their neighbors referred me to them. So there's a I guess a history there. They called me up, said we want to remodel our kitchen, we want to take this wall out, we want to redo the fireplace. So how do I come up with a price? I supply rough materials. I don't supply design, like light fixtures and stuff like that. Most people don't want me to buy that stuff, with the exception of customers will shop at there's a big tile store in town. They'll go there, they'll pick out the tile for their backsplash. They'll put it on will call for me to pick up. That's part of my time that I'm going to bill for. Installing cabinets, painting, drywall, all of that. How do I come up with a price? I basically say, okay, what's someone have to pay me to do that work? What's it worth to me? Now, there's that number, and then there is the customer over here. What do they, I got to use my voodoo personality profiling, psychoanalyze them. What do they value that at? And can I get them to match? Or sometimes they value it more. In this case, this big long thing, I could have probably made an extra $7,000. And I mean, they're adding more and more work. And I'm actually saying, well, God, they paid me. It's going to be over $20,000 in labor for this whole kitchen thing and the living room thing. So I'm actually lowering, because I'm happy. I'm paid. My bills are paid. I'm lowering. When they add something, I give them basically a bulk pricing discount, because what I'm working for now is that ultimate customer satisfaction to get back there. He's already started mentioning covered patios, refinishing a deck. He owns the house next door. 2 houses on a golf course, not doing too bad. And I want his referrals. So that is a balancing act that takes practice on getting paid well and getting the referrals. Selling your service for a good value for the dollar. Sell the value. The customer has to feel like they got a good deal. Do you have a base rate or an on-call rate? I rarely get emergency calls, and if I get an emergency call, like I just did 2 nights ago from the guy from Italy, basically I do it for free because they don't pay well. He's gonna, the video will come out here in a few days, and I'm gonna be editing a lot on this trip, and I go through what I'm going to charge him, because I know he's going to pay me more. He always pays me more. But what I'm going for is the big projects, the long term. He knows a lot of wealthy people. That's the big picture in the end. So that was just an answer to Anthony's question. Do you have a base rate? Or on no rates. Get rid of the rates. Every customer is different. Every house is different. Is there 5 flights of stairs, 2 flights of stairs? Is it in the basement? There's so many different variables to just work off of a base rate. Cable guy. Oh, I'm behind again. I'm 8 minutes behind. I've got off on a little tangent there. I don't know if it was quite a tangent. Cable guy, that's how I did it. I saw the residential market starting to turn, so I switched to commercial, and we were building, some crazy buildings downtown, but they were still residence-based. We called it mixed commercial, where there's apartments on top, and this is in an inner city, and retail on the bottom. And I saw the end coming, because investors, you have a developer, you have investors, and you have a contractor. And so the developer gets the investors and then gets the contractor. Well, we were hooked up with this developer doing a whole bunch of work, but the investors started dropping like flies in late 2007. And I said, this isn't going to end good. I started shopping for sailboats. So in 2008, when the layoffs came, I was celebrating on my way to Florida to buy a sailboat. So I do know what it's like to get laid off and go out on your own. I'm in the deepest, darkest parts of Texas. You never know what's going to come knocking on your door. All right, I'm behind. I'm just going to go straight to the bottom. Okay. We talked about Gerald Carpenter. Uh, the boat did sell. Oh, Jake, the boat did sell. Boat is gone. I'm no longer a captain anymore. Someone has a good question here. Gerald Carpenter, could you speak about liability insurance, amounts and costs, or being bonded? There's that word, bonded. Um, Someone posted a great definition of what being bonded is in the comments of the last live stream. So do you ever bump up against regulations? No. So bonded is like an insurance policy on your work. Is that, as I understand it, I knew it was a third party escrow, something where there's a third party that makes sure that the customer doesn't get, I guess, screwed if the light falls out of the ceiling. It's usually on very large projects, and no one gets those bonded. It just isn't something I've ever dealt with working for myself, working for other people. I do know some people who did get screwed big time. They had like they got the guys next door. It was his parents that they did a kitchen remodel, and the guy basically took a huge deposit, like $32,000 deposit, and went out of business. But it went to court and everything, and the guy's like paying $100 a month for decades. Okay, scroll back up here, try to catch up here. So we're going to still try to keep things focused on the title of this this live stream, the entrepreneurship of being a business owner. Because I don't own a business. I get to use some of the business tax laws, but I'm self-employed. That's kind of a different than being an actual business owner. I don't have products, I don't have employees, I don't have a store. Self-employed and an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, back to the cost of commercial liability insurance. It doesn't cost that much. I really can't remember what mine is. It's January, so it's bills. I pay for the whole year at once. And you get audited by your insurance company to make sure that the work you're doing matches what you're covered for. Someone asked, do you ever want to quit? Do you ever want to go back to 9 to 5 for someone else? Not anymore. There was a period of time. Remember, I got started in the depression of 2008, and it wasn't easy to start. I was into like the third round of interviews to go back to being a superintendent, and I pulled out. I probably could have got the job, but I decided no, I want to stay focused on being self-employed. But it did cross my mind many years ago. It hasn't even entered my mind in the last 4 to 5 years. The economy, especially in the last 2 years, is so great right now. It could change though, and that is why I am very frugal with what I do earn. Pray for you, Juan. Southern California, the money's there if you got the... Someone said it's like $500 per job. So you can break up, because it's come up and there's people bicker about it in the comments about the California rules, but you can still go up and make $1,500 a day if you did 3 $500 jobs. Okay, 100%. Dustin, call back. There, someone said their commercial liability insurance is $150 a month. It's insignificant in the big picture of your expenses. Yeah, noodle guys. Some Mookie Man says he hasn't seen any noodles yet. Somebody tried to sneak in, and I got him out pretty quick. I think he's the guy that brought his friends in last one. God, this freaking chair is squeaky as hell. Vic Trilo, he says he's in insurance. And he has a very great point here. He posted at 9:44. Oh, really? It's 9:46. Be honest. Don't try to dumb down the work that you do to get a lower rate on your insurance. So I'm always up front. I'd rather be over covered than under covered. Okay, what do you think about? What do I think about sole proprietorships, doing business as, or LLC when starting out? Okay, well, this is a valid point because when you're, it's different in every state. But what I was told, I had a business attorney a couple years after. I was doing my own taxes just under my name, just personal income. It was all taxable income. So I didn't get hardly any corporate benefits. And I've told this story before. I worked my ass off, and then I had to give it like all away to taxes. And like, there's got to be, people don't do this. You can't work this hard, make that much money, and then it all just goes away. And in my state, when I went to this business attorney, I said, hey, I need to get set up with an LLC and start taking advantage of these tax credits. And she said, it's a she too. She said, oh, you don't want to go LLC. You want S Corporation. I'm an S Corporation. She's an, everybody in this building's their own S Corporation. Then my accountant, he was the same way. Everybody in the whole accounting office is their own S Corporation. There is some, I don't want to say it's controversial, this S Corporation thing. And there could be cracking down on some of these S corporations. You're supposed to pay yourself a reasonable wage, but that's something I think is for you to discuss with your business attorney and your accountant. When you're first starting out, you don't have any money. You don't have enough money to pay these people. So do what you got to do to keep your money. Master disaster. The only unforeseen overhead was taxes. Anything else was expected and minimal compared to taxes. There you go. Sam, he's got a good short, sweet definition of bonding. There you go, Rob. Just got notification at 9:44. We've been on for 48 minutes. Well, now we're just getting into this. Utah's 3,000 per job. You could work with 3,000 per job. Let's see here. Do you have a plan for the next recession in a few years, potentially, such as, I've been saving and I've been paying my mortgage down like crazy. I don't have a new truck. I don't have a car payment. The only thing we have is 2 mortgage payments. That's it. We don't carry credit card debt. I don't have a credit card. I don't have a business credit card. I have a business debit card. Staying out of debt. Freaking WD-40 on this wooden ass. I'm in this rinky-dink like cowboy motel. Dang squeaky ass wooden chair. Let's see here. All right, what were we just talking about? Oh, the next recession. Be prepared for it. Learn from the last one, and hopefully the recession doesn't hit YouTube, because 2019 YouTube will make more money for me than I can make doing any sort of anything else. Handyman work, remodel work. So, but we can't depend on YouTube either. That's why everything's just paying off the mortgages, get debt free, and then get some other income generating properties paid off, not in debt on those. All right, I'm behind again. 46. Yeah, I'm 4 minutes behind. The biggest, someone asked, what's the biggest expenses in your profession? taxes. Outside of that, I would say you'd have to have tools, a truck. My tax accountant, it's not much. What did I say? It was like $1,200 for the year. The business attorney, once everything's set up and good to go, I check in with her every year. She does all my filing. She's only, I don't know, $500 a year. The insurance is like $1,300 a year. So taxes. Oh, you shared? I wonder how you do that. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Share it to, I don't know. I don't know how this works. Okay, we got to catch up here. 9:46. Yep. Still running 5 minutes behind. Okay, here's a question. What happens if you patch roof once a year? Do you take the insurance hit? Oh, for roofing? If I do one roof patch a year, would I take? I don't know. That is a very good question. I guess you'd have to do the risk management on what the liability would be if you show up to patch a leaky roof and the roof leaks again. They're probably just going to call you to say, hey, I got a leaky roof. Now, if the roof falls down and floods the entire house and people die, I don't think you can do that from just patching a roof. Dude, I do what you do for a living. Cool. Okay. I'll go sales. Okay, we're talking about spend it or lose it. I save it. We're putting, what are we putting? $28,000 towards one of our mortgages just this month. Of course, I sold a sailboat. So yeah, I sold the sailboat. So all that money is going straight to a mortgage. My storage fee was like $350 a month. That $350 a month is now budgeted to go straight to making extra payments on a mortgage. What's your dream business to run or own? Someone asked me this a while ago. I'd probably be, I don't know, run a scuba diving business in Hawaii. How do I get money for my bills? So a lot of my bills, my garbage bill, some of my electric bill, some of my water bill, is a tax deduction. I don't have any bills. My cell phone bill is a tax deduction. Health insurance is paid through for my wife's work. I don't have very many bills. I don't have a car payment. Car insurance is a couple dollars. We have 3 cars. We have all of our insurance is through Amica, so we don't really have bills. Very little. You know, some people do have a lot of bills. I think between my wife and I, it's under, like, even paying 2 mortgages. Because we also have the rental income. That pays for both of our mortgages. So our mortgages are wiped out. We don't have to pay mortgage. That's taken care of by the rental house. Cell phone bill, they don't have very many bills. John asked about startup money and tool supply. I've touched on the tool supply before. I bought all used tools. I was at flea markets and garage sales building up tool supply. I bought my tool trailer for, I don't know what it was. It wasn't very expensive. I bought it factory direct, so there's not much. Brett, update on the sailboat. Sailboat is gone and off to new owners with new adventures. Yeah, sold the sailboat. NP, have you considered putting all your business expenses on a... Oh, yeah. RDF. People are telling me, Handyman, you were missing out. I spend, I don't know, 50 grand a year, maybe more. I could have put all that $50,000, we're going to use that as a round number, on a credit card and earn crazy amounts of points or cash back, this, that, and the other thing. The thing is, it's not worth the risk of going into credit card debt or getting behind and paying interest. It's a very good point, though, RDF. Hey, G. Ray Brown. That's how they were actually my customers. So it wasn't like I was knocking on business doors. A lot of my customers own businesses, and that's how I was referred to the tax accountant that I use. Yeah, squeaky chair. I don't know what to do. I think the other one's just as squeaky. I knew it when I sat down. I was like, oh man. Oh geez, a Christian and a pagan in here now, going at it. Let's give him some swords. Steve, why don't I use a business credit card? I may be just catching up to you guys. Yeah, I agree. It's not worth the risk of going into debt. Mainly because my plate is full. Everything's on automatic bill pay through my debit card. If I had someone that I knew could pay the credit card off at the end of every month, listen, the credit card companies wouldn't be in business. They wouldn't make any money if everybody paid the credit card off at the end of every month. So I'm not going to go down that road. All right, let's see here. Steve. What is Steve? What's Steve chit-chatting about? Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys are still talking about credit cards. 52, and I'm at 58 in real life here. I'm just not going to do credit card. That's why I won't take out a loan for a car. My wife doesn't have a loan on her car. If you can't afford it, you can't buy it. If you don't have the money to buy it, oh yeah, 2,800K. Yeah, I'm spending it. Spending it on something that is not going to depreciate in value. Okay, so 20% credit card. Blah, 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 blah. Dave Ramsey would be proud of me. Yes. The taco stand. Yeah, scuba and tacos. That's awesome. I'm trying to skim through these, but if I see a good question that I think people could benefit from, I'll read it out loud here and give you my experience on it. Yeah, we're trying to keep the questions related, well, I guess to the entrepreneur portion of it. I wanted to discuss on this hourly thing and the drive, the discipline that's needed to make a handyman or home services self-employment gig work in the long run, to make good money. There's a whole system of making it work. A job's a job. Catching up here. We're 9:56. I'm 4 minutes behind here. Uh-oh. Tapcon, I think being a marine carpenter would be pretty cool. Andrew Flynn asks about, he said he could be a shipwright. Marine carpentry would be pretty cool. When I lived on a boat 10 years ago, there was a guy who also lived on a boat, but he rented it out at workshop space and made these really awesome tables tables for yachts that had like these inlays in them. You know, that star that's for the compass. He'd make these sweet wood tables for yachts. That dang chair. Okay, I'll stop trying to move around. These nag you for. Nope, I don't work for. Someone asked, do family members nag you for handyman work? Nope, I don't work for family. I'll work for family for free, but I would never charge a family member. There you go, Scott. I'm still catching up. If you can't afford it, you don't have the money, don't buy it. Does my accountant have access to my bank account? He has access to my QuickBooks account, and my bank account is linked to my QuickBooks, so all income and expenditures are in QuickBooks. So he doesn't necessarily have access to my bank account. He has access to all the numbers and everything goes through my bank account. Oh, this is a good question. Gary's Contracting. In your experience, what is the best profit handyman jobs or remodel jobs in the last year's time? So we could all use, I guess, my YouTube videos, because most of them, with the exception of some small ones, made it up to YouTube. I'd have to look at them, though. I kind of forget. I'd get going through so many. It would, I could just tell you, let me type the password in here. Remodeling a bathroom that's less than 20 years old. That has got to be the easiest, quickest, fastest turnaround time, least complicated. It's just plug and play. Would be the most profitable for me in my area. 127 watching. Oh, we're down to 118. I gotta catch up, guys. How's your system to make it work other than work all the hours? Just gotta keep working. Is win the lottery? Oh, Jake Jones. Oh, I'd have to say my local economy makes things very easy on me. I do have friends that work in smaller towns where there really is no economy. It's like flatline, so it's not even affected by the world economy or the country's economy. They do well, but they don't. They make jokes about, just like the comments that I get on YouTube. They're like, "Do you wear a mask when you go to work, like a ski mask to rob people?" Because they live in a small podunk town. One of them is a part-time farmer now. Where was it? What live stream did I do it? Yeah, I showed the X-rays of the dude's legs that fell off the roof. He ain't doing too good. I think he sits on a tractor now. I need to catch up here. Oh man, I'm missing out on some of your guys'. Oh, my ass is killing me on this wooden chair. Oh, here's something about QuickBooks. G. Ray Brown. I used to mess around with QuickBooks. I don't have time to mess around with QuickBooks anymore. So you can send a link to your accountant, and they get an access to log into your QuickBooks, and they mess around with the QuickBooks. Yeah, I don't manually enter anything anymore. You do have to categorize. It tries to categorize your expenses automatically, but sometimes you have to make some corrections. Okay, Dustin. We'll see if we can get this question to make some sense. What system did you you create when you started to keep focused and moving forward? And what changes have you made to that system over the years? I'm guessing focus to keep working more hours, and you got to have goals. That's it, just goal setting. And when you get those goals, it encourages you to set more goals. Um, just basically, I set goals and say, and have just the determination to get those goals. Like I've been putting off getting a new truck for years, and I was like, okay, when we buy our new house, after we buy the new house, I'll get a new truck. And I was like, well, you know what? How about we pay the house off, and then I'll get a new truck. And we're going to be creeping up on paying off the rental house, and then we're like, well, maybe I'll just say, let's pay off the house we live in, and then get a new truck. So the financial goals is the only thing that keeps me going. Our G. Ray Brown, 64K a year. I could not live off of. No way. That was when I came into it. I made it was right around 108,000, and had to pay a ton of taxes, and it was just devastating that I worked that hard and I was only left over, 68,000, 70,000 for all those hours. Hell no. So 64K where I live isn't going to get you anything. Most of the incomes of the people that like I work for is a dual income, and they're easily both making six figures each. So most of the houses and the families I work for is a $200,000 income family minimum. Okay, am I 104? Man, I'm still 4 minutes behind you guys. Gotta go. See you later, Gonzalez family. Jake Jones, yeah, marine carpentry is really nice. The woodworking in some of these yachts is just awesome. I painted a few boats myself, bottoms and hulls. What work did you turn down when you started? I didn't turn down anything when I started. Now I turn down high risk. Roofs. Starting to turn down more water work, anything to do with plumbing. The risk of roof is falling off and breaking your legs. I turned down flooring work because it's back breaking. But when I first started out, I would do whatever you asked. Didn't even care what the price was. I just do it. Gary's contracting. How to get to fill in the gaps. Okay. How do you keep focus from day to day? I don't mind 6 to 7 day work weeks, but I do run into slow times. I'm looking for a plan to fill those gaps. I'm trying to remember about slow times. Well, when I would get slow, I didn't really have much responsibilities, so I don't know, go hunting or something, go fishing, and when it gets slow, go sailing when you get slow. Focusing on those customer relations and building those long-term referrals has gotten me to there are no slow days. RG Brown, that's he's talking about, oh man, I got to catch up to you guys. Talking about buying a vehicle, 2 to 4 years old, less than 40K. That's kind of the sweet spot to get rid of that initial depreciation. Well, now, Mookie Man's talking about my family income. I was talking about the people that I do most of the work for, the people that that live around me. Yeah, there you go, Mookie Man. Oh, geez, we're just catching up to what I was talking about 3 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't turn down anything. I'll sand sheetrock until I can't see. When I first started, I don't really have energy foods. Oh, for a long time, to keep just the production up and keep moving, I drink a lot of energy drinks. God, this freaking chair. Oh. I stay away from energy drinks. Okay, people gave me so much trouble on that Impossible One Day Job video, where sometimes you need a little kick in the pants. You wake up, but you didn't get good sleep or something like that. You can't stumble through the day. You gotta rock and roll. Oh, Mookie Man just brought up a point that I wanted to touch on is these new social media advertising things, but they're not real advertising. They're social media advertising. So it's real people giving real referrals on these apps that he just mentioned. Someone asked, what about subbing out the jobs I don't like to do? The only people who do those jobs, I don't want to be around. Exactly. Smoking cheap. I don't like subs because they're usually dirt bags. Drag their feet. They take 10-hour breaks. They're just a waste of time. Don't even want to be around them. Put a pillow on the chair. All right, we'll try this out here. Oh my. That's much better. Carnivore diet. Oh, that's why I'm here in Texas, getting some more meat. I do drink about 2 cups of coffee a day, just in the morning. Yeah, Matt G. There actually were some pretty good questions asked so far. Battery power? What the? I thought it was plugged in. What's going on here? I'm not charging my phone. My phone's down to 15%. So let's see what we're going to do about this here. Why are they charging? Why are we charging, guys? Huh? Oh boy, we better get through this. I don't want to. All right, we're just going to get down to the bottom here. Oh, we weren't too far behind. For some reason, my phone isn't charging when I'm on this live stream here. There we go. Oh, jeez. There we go. Let me just hold this thing. Oh, the frickin'. There we go. Is we charging? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That sucks. To charge faster, use a charger with a cable. All right. No, not interested in building a large construction company. Let's see if we can get through this here. What do you guys think of Home Advisor? They call me all the time. They used to call me, oh my God, I had to. It's hogs, but in the future we'll get to access deer. This thing charging? Yeah. Oh, we are charging. Okay, maybe we can stay going. So, what are some apps? Some of the guys who just started out, why don't you share, maybe right here on the screen, your experience with this thing called Thumbtack. Does anybody use Thumbtack? We still on here? This thing working? I see 126 people, but no one's chit-chatting anymore. There we go. Okay. Oh, there you are. Home Advisor. Yeah, I didn't have experience. No one I've talked to in real life. There's a lot of opinions on the internet, but in real life, I haven't heard much good feedback about Home Advisor. Okay, now we're just talking about Thumbtack. Heard good things about different Facebook groups and the app Nextdoor. for me, I know instantly the second someone puts me on Nextdoor. So there's Nextdoor is a neighborhood-based social community. Someone goes onto their thing and says, "Hey, does anybody know a handyman?" And someone says, "Oh, I know this guy. Here's his number." Oh no, my phone goes absolutely crazy. Not with work, but with lead generating services. So there's these bots that follow these social media places and look for these phone numbers. And although I have gotten a few jobs from these referrals on Nextdoor, I've gotten thousands of text messages and calls from telemarketers because someone put my information on Thumbtack or on Nextdoor. What do we got here? Hooked up. That Scott. Here we go. I was looking at Barrett's last week. I was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. I probably will get a 50 cal one of these days. I don't think you get charged at all on the Nextdoor thing. No mods? I don't think we have. Do we need any moderators in here? I don't even know how to use a mod. Oh, geez, $300 home advisor. There was another guy. I got an email from someone. He got hooked up with, it's a referral service through Lowe's that actually does background checks. That's what, if any of you guys are homeowners, that's the one thing you got to figure out. Number one, ex-cons go into self-employment in home construction. Tim's Angry. That's a cool name. One of the builders I worked for did zero advertising, and they were pretty much put all their eggs in their training their employees to sell the business to the customer. Basically referrals, friends and family. How likely are you to recommend us to your friends and family? That's the goal. Friends and family referrals is the best advertising. And when you have that, you don't have to worry about Thumbtack or Facebook, Nextdoor, Craigslist, Backpage. My favorite beer. I don't know if I really have a favorite beer. Bacon? Really? Lowe's and Home Depot use Angie's List? God, I'd have to dig through the email. The guy sent it to me, and I think it was through Home Depot. Porch Light. That was another one that someone said that they used. Back porch light or something like that. I recommend always per job. If you do some sort of advertising and someone calls you up, they're gonna be like, "What's your hourly rate?" You don't want to go work for them. What's your hourly rate? No, you say, "Well, I'd like to come see the work, and I can give you an estimate right there on the spot what it's going to take to put new downspout extensions on, or replace that light fixtures that's hanging off the side of the wall. I don't know, weed your garden, whatever." I did anything and everything when I first started, but I never gave an hourly rate. I told all my friends and family to tell all their friends and family, and it just spread. What percent of, I only have, someone asked, what percent of your income comes from your rentals? Do you make a positive cash flow? Yes, because of how little we paid for the rental house. To rent my rental house is $30,000 a year. The mortgage on that house is like $890 a month. We'll call it $12,000 a year is the mortgage, and it rents for $30,000 for 1 year. Back page. Someone got my back page joke. And you. If you put 50 cal. You can't do any sort of gun stuff on YouTube, or else you'll get demonetized. Back page porch light. There's some guys with some good sense of humor in here. Yeah, someone said he makes $150 an hour, but he doesn't tell them. I'm trying to go through these quick. That's why I don't work for an hourly rate. If I show up to someone's house and they have a list of things to do, and I say, okay, I'm going to go to work for 125 bucks an hour right now, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. But if I say, you know what, I can get all this knocked out today and maybe going in tomorrow morning for $1,000, they're going to, that's a pretty darn good job. I don't go for it, handyman. It's just the way things work. I don't know the psychology behind it, but I know it works, and that's why most businesses do it that way. Okay, here we go. Catching up. Oh, there we go. We're let's see here. Am I charging? Yes, I'm up to 18%. All right, let's see here. Even $85 an hour, you go up to someone who's got a good job as an employee, they're making 45 bucks an hour, or they know what they make an hour based off their salary, and you say, yeah, I'll start weeding your garden for $85 an hour. They're not gonna do it. That's why I always do a fixed price. Yeah, there's Rob. People, they just, most of the customers have an education. They have a career. They make, say 90,000 to 120,000 a year. And they just don't understand that they get paid more than that. Their compensation package is a lot more than that 120,000 a year. And you can't go out and start educating people on what it's like to be a self-employed person. Yeah, someone says they will immediately compare it to their own hourly rate. That's why I sell the value. So, oh yeah, we can really get this garden looking great. We get those weeds trimmed up. I get this, that, and the other thing, and I don't know, I don't do it, but if I did do it, if someone asked me to, it was my first year, I'd do it. So they tell their neighbors. Oh, Josh Perfect Pro. He's been around for a long time. I think that's how you say your name. I have had that too. But he said that his customers are amazed that he cleans up after himself. You wouldn't be surprised how many customers have that experience. One thing that gets me though is when I start cleaning up, I get the vacuum cleaner out, I start sweeping, they say, oh no, don't worry about that, we'll get that little bit of dust. I try to insist that no, let me take care of this. I've got a nice, a trash can right out in the trailer, I'll get this out of here. Try to clean up after yourself. It seems so simple, but so many people don't do it. Out there in the real world, home service providers aren't, really goal-oriented, savvy business owners. Positive attitude, that's another big thing. Having a positive attitude, looking good, not that I'm, some sort of model of what to look like as a handyman, but clean, don't stink, especially when you're meeting a customer for the first time and get doing an estimate. Somebody ask me, that comes up a lot. Do you ever work on cars? Not for customers, but my own cars. Yeah, I used to be super into cars. I've restored 2 full frame off restorations. Let's see here. What if you don't have an immediate answer for someone's problem? I haven't run into that situation. There's another one, Jake. Don't take a huge dump in a customer's house. It's common sense to us, but out there, how many handyman do you think there are in the United States? A gazillion of them. I see them driving down the road with the bumper hanging off, the mufflers. It's usually like a station wagon or some old ass rusted out Suburban with literally handyman painted on the side of it. That's the image that people have of a handyman. That's why I've never called myself a handyman outside of YouTube. How the beard makes me money. The beard makes me look older. It makes me look like someone who's worked with their hands. Clean shaven men don't normally work in residential construction. It's just the way it is. A guy that I learned from when I was a kid, way back in the 80s, he had a mustache. Mustaches were big back then, but people used to give him a hard time about his mustache. And he actually did the market research. He got more work when he had a mustache than when he didn't have a mustache. Stinky handy people, bad. Yeah, okay. Okay, scrolling up, trying to catch up with you guys here. Sorry, Jake. I mean, you got to start somewhere. And if all you got is a wood panel station wagon, it can work, but you're immediately going to be valued as soon as you pulled up. Someone's going to put a price on you before you even open your mouth. I know you don't. I'm guessing you don't drive around a wood rusted out station wagon. Yeah, the way you present yourself, someone is going to put a value on what you're worth to work in their house before you even get to talk. Oh, yeah, Billy Ferrundut. I'm not good with last names. I mean, I like nice trucks. I like lifts. I like rims. I like exhausts. I like cars. But man, for a work truck, you don't want to show up to a customer's house and some freaking big ass redneck truck nuts hanging off the back. You know, if you got a diesel truck, you got the exhaust pipe that's like, 8 inches in diameter. They're gonna, unless that's the type of person that is hiring you. But if you're going for professionals that earn a high wage, that can afford to pay you, they're probably not into truck nuts and big diesel exhausts. I'm 42 years old. Somebody asked how old I was. Wood panel station wagons were cool, man. They were cool. Who is this? Oh, someone just sent me someone slid into my DMs. How do I get that off the screen? There you go. Let's see here. I'm trying to scroll. There we go. What's your next truck? Oh, we'll get into that. We're on the entrepreneur topic tonight. Yes, Brandon, home improvement, home repair, anything other than a handyman. Sorry for you guys that started a business, started marketing yourself as a handyman, but a handyman has a price tag on them. Everybody has a vision of a handyman, and you're pre-valued before you even get to try to sell yourself. Someone just rang the handyman Domino's dinner bell. What does that mean? Oh, we got more questions. It's here. Oh, WJ, he was been around for a while. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about. I must have missed a few things. Slide into my DMs. Ring the bell. What kind of people do I like to network with? I really don't network with anybody in my business. No one really knows what I do. Like my personal life. Anyone? Hey, if anybody's else, Josh Perfect Pro R, just give a suggestion on a book. So I think that'd be worth Googling and checking out. I haven't read it. I may put it in my list. If anybody else has good advice for the other 140 people that are in here, feel free to post a book name or another YouTube channel. Do I do much lawn maintenance? No. When I was really young, God, was this before I went to college? I did some landscaping, sodding, did some sodding, some rock work, underground sprinkler systems. That's going back when I was 18, 19 years old. Someone asked if I ever considered learning HVAC, and that's the kind of thing. I don't know anything about it. I actually looked into going to HVAC school. I don't think where I live it has as much value as in some of the southern states. I do think HVAC is a pretty good business to get into. And you can do that as a one-man operation. Tim Bolton, do not say that in here. CJ Drill. Freaking joke. Do I follow anyone on YouTube? Yeah, I follow lots of people on YouTube. Follow this guy that lives on an island in Panama. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to keep up with you guys on these books. Oh, another thing. So this will eventually turn into Josh Perfect Pro. He got the joke. This will eventually turn into a video that you can watch on YouTube. But it takes a while to process, and all these comments here will eventually show up in the sidebar like tomorrow. So we can all see all these book recommendations, but it takes a while for the thing to process it. And as I said in the very beginning of the video, I'm going to put a link in the description to what my definition of an entrepreneur is. Oh, someone asked, what do I do when a homeowner is watching me work? It's a good question. When you're first starting out, you might not have the confidence that you might not have much confidence. It can make you nervous and everything. Nowadays, I'll joke with them. I'll be like, hey, hand me that thing. You're going to stand there. And that comes with, I don't have too many like very first time customers. It does build, but it's usually a strong recommendation from someone close that they know, and they kind of give my personality and a rundown of who I am. So I'll have a full-on conversation with someone when they're watching me. It does not bother me at all. CJ Drill sliding into my DMs. You're sick, Mookie man. Oh, I swear, you guys are crazy. Is anybody out there offended by guns? She's lovely. She's easy on the eyes. Any snowflakes out there? Check this bad boy out. I'm gonna set up my sniper's hide here in the window. Yeah, we'll do a quick little gun tour. What I brought down here. 6.5 Creedmoor Weatherby. Bolt action. No, it's not a Lapua. You knew we'd have to go to. Hey, is that the guy, scary Halloween guy? No. Oh shit, that's scary, Josh. So here's my other one. This is my backup gun in case the 6.5, I don't know, breaks on me. This bad boy here. This is you guys read that? That's a Night Force scope right there. 8-32 by 56. This one here is a semi-automatic. Chambered in 308. Nothing in there though. Gotta have that on my mag. Ready to rock and roll. Yeah, these shoot nails through concrete like you wouldn't believe. Josh Perfect Pro. I used to watch some of Mr. Fix-Alls. I don't have much time anymore to watch much of anything. He's funny. I like him. Yeah, this Night Force here, it's the bench rest model. It's not like an NXS tactical one. So it doesn't have like a tactical turret on there, but it still has the high quality glass, lighted reticle. The parallax adjustment is up here, not on the side. So you only have 2 turrets. Some of the fancier ones, more expensive ones, have parallax adjustment on the side there. Oh, someone says, what's the first step to being an entrepreneur? What's Mookie Man saying? Oh, let's see here. The link that I post in the description, once we're done with this video, and it goes to this live stream and it goes to a video, come back, click it, but be ready to go to work. Don't watch it before you go to bed, because you're going to be up. You're going to be looking for something to work on. You're going to be so motivated. It's kind of my secret weapon. I only break it out once, maybe twice a year, because it really defines kind of how I push myself. Somebody asked if I ever used stilts. I have never used stilts. I think they'd be pretty cool. Elk season is long since over. We're going after some pigs. Some Texas pigs. This is the most recent question here. Cabby89. Working 6 to 7 days. Long hours. Do you feel you're working too hard for too little? That's a great question, and that did happen to me. I think I had told the guy that the whole topic, what's an entrepreneur? I told him this story. I said, yeah, man, I worked my ass off. And I wasn't making enough. It was like I could average $6,500 to $7,000 a month. And then after taxes, takes dang near half of that. It just isn't worth the blood and the sweat. And I said, I got to do something different. I couldn't physically do more work. I said, I got to be able to get paid more work, or else I got to go back to being a superintendent or something, because it wasn't worth my time. So that's when I started doing a whole bunch of research on sales techniques. And the next thing you know, I was turning out $14,000 months, $12,000 months, doing the same work or less. All right, what do we got? What are you guys talking about? Spot and stock vids do good on YouTube. Spot and stock vids. Yeah, that'd be good. I do have a whole other YouTube channel strictly for hunting. What is it? What is it? Can't give that out around here. Someone asked about custom home building. I don't have enough experience in nice custom home building to really answer that question. What's your number one sales tactic? God, right now, honestly, in the economy that we have, I don't even need to do any sales tactics, but I did a little bit of upselling, selling the remodel, because it was mostly about remodel work, not cleaning gutters. Um, so encouraging them, it's something that I didn't work the first time I tried it. I had a lot of customer encounters and just played around with uh, creating value, higher value in what they wanted to do with their house. And it was mostly a remodel or a small addition, or adding carpet to the stairs or not to the stairs. Oh yeah, that's going to increase the value of your house. It's going to be so convenient for this. Just building up the value, and then that builds up the dollar value too. So, do you feel you haven't tried? Timber frame construction? That's pretty cool stuff. Like the big, using the logs and stuff, and big things are usually in like mountain homes or vacation homes. You could do helicopter hunting is pretty darn cool. I'll probably do that. Put that on my list. I think you do it in Texas also. Let's see. What do I do to stay current on home trends? HGTV is usually 1 year behind. Everything you're watching was filmed 8 months to a year ago. So I don't keep up. I don't have cable TV. Ooh, Schmidt and Bender, they make some crazy good glass. Man, Handyman. Pretty much that's it. So Mookie Man just handled. Like I don't give designer. I can sell the whole makeover. Like, yeah, we can do a great remodel. We can get your toilet from stop running. We can get a new tile in there that's not moldy. Things like that. It's going to be great to have nice, clean surfaces again. That's just me shoot from the hip in front of a cell phone. But I'll usually do research. I get as much information on over the phone to get an idea. We want to go tile. We want to go tile shower pan, granite tops. We want to do vessel sink. I don't think that people do that anymore, but some people do. Like, it was a remodel I did just this past fall, or at least it made it to YouTube this fall. They did these white porcelain sinks that I didn't drill the holes to the granite. Granite was subbed out, but I mounted the sinks and the faucet and everything. Most customers, especially the younger customers, are addicted to HGTV, and they have their own design ideas. God, that horse is beat. Talked about design for a long time. Let's see, how far would you travel? Oh, how far would I travel for a job? When I was starting out, I'd do whatever it took. I traveled to different states, traveled to different towns. Stay at a friend's house or family member's house. Here's a good question. Casey Schultz. Best way to learn new trades and techniques is to go to work for somebody else. A professional remodel company is the best way for someone to learn fast. Get immersed into it. Saw a dump truck taken out by a feral hog. I'd like to see that video. Vic here, he says he's been in sales. I probably need to brush up and could do better. Salesmanship. That's why there's a lot of businesses that they can't even do business unless someone sells their product. So the salesmen make more than their managers, than the sales managers, because you can't do anything without the product being sold first. I don't have anything. James asked if I buy from big box. I'm assuming Lowe's or Home Depot. I don't have a problem with buying from Lowe's or Home Depot. I have gone many times to lumber yards to order stuff, have it delivered. I think the banner of the Handyman YouTube channel has a giant pergola. Work that I did before I started YouTube. I don't think I even have a video of it. But I've used lumber yards in the past. Tile supply stores, not Home Depot tile, but like a flooring specialty store. There's no way I'm gonna. Well, how many subscribers do you think it would take to get noticed by Demolition Ranch? Because off the ranch, he does a lot of home improvement stuff. I'm only closing in on 100 subscribers. So Lowe's beat a lumberyard price by $5,000. That's pretty significant. If you said, what is it? I'm getting confused. I did an Instagram live feed for 3 hours the other night. Lowe's and Home Depot both have like a pro services desk where you can order anything. You can order the same stuff that the lumber yards are ordering. Trusses, TJIs, what they have in their store is not what you can get. A lot more than what's in a Home Depot store. What time is it? Time is it in Texas? 10:48, I think it's in Texas. Menards, I love Menards. Menards, to me, is so much better than Lowe's and Home Depot. Just even the people that they hire, it's weird. It's like the Chick-fil-A of home improvement stores. Carl D asks, would I ever tell a customer that what they picked out would look bad? Like a color or a tile choice or light fixtures, no. So I'm trying to think of, that's why I'm pausing. I'm trying to think of something where I would tell them no. Do you have thoughts on going 1099? I have done 1099 a long time ago for fix and flip companies. These guys that were fixing and flipping houses. It was okay. A lower priced work. I gained experience. I gained knowledge just working for other businesses. I think I haven't done 1099 work in a long time. If I was starting out, I wouldn't turn down any work. Any work that could lead to more experience in the trades, learning from somebody else, also the businesses. I'm always got an eye on how somebody else is doing their business. So I'm all for work. When you're getting started out, if you're 20, 30 years old, go work for a remodeling company. Go work for a deck building company, bathroom remodel, kitchen remodeling company. Anybody have an opinion on that? Working for somebody else? I know a lot of people just want to jump right into being self-employed. But you have to have a skill set, both with your hands and your tools, and with customer relations and billing. You got to learn it from somewhere, and you can learn a lot from YouTube. But on-the-job training, I think, is probably the best way to learn anything. it's kind of. Let's see if I can. There's no light in here. It's so dark. I've got a lamp with the lampshade off that I had to move from there over to here to get enough light in here. Okay. Look at the entrance to the bathroom. It's like swinging doors over there. What's TBH? Oh, it's all sales. Yeah, working with other. That's one of the biggest, I guess, negatives of being self-employed. Is you're alone all day. The last guy I worked with consistently was homeless. I would pick him up under a bridge in Fort Lauderdale. And he was pretty smart, but he did too much meth or crack. We called him Crack Dan. And yeah, my time in Florida was crazy. There's so many unique experiences working in Florida. If I could choose one money making trade, what would it be? That's a great question by Casey Schultz. God, what is the most profitable, but least, it would be the most profitable with least backbreaking and low competition, probably limited by a high skill level. I'm trying to figure out what the heck that would be. But there'd also have to be a high demand for it. That's a good topic of conversation for people in here. If you guys got some feedback for Casey Schultz's question, if you had to pick one trade that makes the most money, what would it be? You have to own the business. That's the thing. Plumbers, electricians, roofers, framers, drywall guys, they make pennies. The guy who owns the company makes the money. Crack Dan. God, he was, the stories I could tell you about Florida and taking over these foreclosed homes and renovating them and renting them out within like 3 days. So I may have to do a video about my time working for a con man. Okay, Billy, he's got a first-hand experience. Experience is priceless. I learned more in 6 weeks on the job than I did 18 months of schooling. There's some good first-hand, I guess someone's sharing their experience on working for someone else, on-the-job training. Jane is on his mind. Yummy. You guys are sick. Bill, back to that specialty trade. It was a surface repair. Granite tops, marble tops, chips in tile where someone doesn't have matching tile. They can't cut it out of the field of their tile. There is guys that specialize. They're like body men for like auto body, but they do it for everything from wood cabinets to matching paint, matching different sheens on wood. That's something that interests me. I think it in a large city, if you marketed yourself, you'd have to market yourself. I think that's a pretty good idea. Finished carpentry. Underwater welding. There you go. Okay, this is another. G. Brady, this is a good question. This is, okay, let me read this here. Outside of trade skills, what professional skill, personal skill, do you think is most valuable? So I would say having personal skills, being able to talk to people, the confidence to talk to people, to relate to them, just to have the being well spoken, is just as important as the trade work in having a being successful, being self-employed. So yeah, I think there's trade work is only 50% of the long-term success. Yes, South Florida was really a kind of a cesspool. Okay, let's catching up here. We're not too far behind. Yes, roofers. There's a risk. Um, some Tim Bolton risk roofers fall and die. If we weren't on my phone, I'd show you the text message of a buddy of mine. His X-rays on both of his ankles and heels are shattered, and there's pins and plates all over from falling off a roof. And I don't think it was a very high roof either. Let's see here. We're catching up, catching up. Don't bullshit. I'm trying not to bullshit. Yeah. Let's see here. Drinking bourbon is a professional skill. Now there's roofers, which are all illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them. They're not here. They're undocumented. All roofers are undocumented. The people who own the undocumented people make good money. Then there's the guy who actually owns the business. So there's several different tier levels in the roofing industry. The roofer, he's only been here for a couple weeks. Give him a hammer and send him under the roof. There is people own the undocumented. You know, he's not lying. That human trafficking thing is real. What I meant by who owns the undocumented, the guy who can speak, who bilingual, who can gather up all the undocumented people and get them to the roof. That guy, he makes decent money. He's his own business, and sometimes there's the guy that owns the business that gets the contract. Actually, there's also independent salesmen. We could talk about the shady roofing business for hours. Tacos up this ladder. Yo quiero taco up the escalator. Joseph, if you don't have Mexicans doing your roof, you must, I don't know where you live, Canada or something? They haven't made it up there. They are extremely hard workers. I've seen them. They were the last crews there. Framers and roofers. Everybody would be gone. The sun would be setting, and you'd hear. Framers and roofers were always, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Pretty much. Well, I don't know if you got to be. Oh, what do we got here? I don't want to kick anybody. You got to be a Mexican to get the Mexicans. South African roofers? Okay, any questions about the entrepreneurship of being self-employed? We're about to click over to 2 hours. And when I do turn this off, I'm going to hop over to the computer and I'm going to post that link. Hopefully I can find it. It's my secret weapon. And it is my definition of what an entrepreneur is. I did sell a boat. You don't got Mexicans in Pittsburgh? What? I've never seen a white roofer. It'd be like, what the hell's up there? Who's on that roof up there? What's he doing up there? That's just such a weird sight to see. How do I handle warranties on my work? I did a video on that. I had the fence that blew open in a windstorm. I just went over and fixed it for free. No, I've had this Creedmoor for a while. Um, but as I said earlier, I was looking at some Barretts earlier. So if something I install breaks, fails, actually, here's a good example. A dishwasher I installed like a year ago. You know, there's a hose that comes in, and it's a supply hose. A dishwasher, this little plastic doohickey that it screws onto. Well, it was leaking there, and I don't normally. The warranty is only good for 1 year on appliances. Happens to be just after the warranty, and I'm not usually an appliance repairman, but when I get back, I'm going to look up the part, order the part, pull the dishwasher out, and pop that a new plastic thing in there. And because I'm remodeling the entire kitchen in February, I'm not going to charge them anything for that. Okay. Answer the warranty thing. I take care of my customers in order to get future work. That's what it boils down to. Let's see here, Gary. Uruguay? My name is Caesar. I do handyman job down here. How do you do sustain your guarantee or warranty? Do whatever it takes to keep the customers happy and keep the work coming in. If that means fixing a dishwasher that I installed a year ago in order to get their kitchen remodel, I'll do that as part of customer service and marketing. That's another thing. There's a lot of things that I do extra because I don't have a marketing budget. I don't have advertising. Advertising and marketing make up the largest market or the largest budget item of most businesses. So doing a little extra here and there, especially a warranty work or just helping someone out, that's great marketing, and it's free. Rookie man, I don't know. I'm just trying to keep things interesting. Boris. Let's see. Some who don't like to be tied. Darts. Trying to keep up with the conversation you guys got. Oh, Amanda, what's I've seen you on Instagram. Some people don't like to be tied down to a location or can't get a deposit together. All right, who's Mama? Where's Mama? Oh, there's Mama. They can't own a house for cheaper. They can't buy my rental house for cheaper than that. So yeah, it's 30 grand. It's a unique location. I'm renting to two 23-year-old girls fresh out of college, and they don't want to buy a house. There you go, Mama. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I caught it. Got caught back up there, Amanda. Thanks for chiming in. No, I think Amanda's really Amanda. It's rare that we see a lady in the room. That's why you're getting all the attention. We had one last week, and it was some guy using his wife's account or something like that. No strange accent. Ja, 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 ja. We can all make up accents. It's funny. You guys crack me up. Oh, this is funny watching the chit chat in here. Yeah, Canadians have accents. Eh? No rum, no beer, no nothing. I don't have anything. I looked around. There's not even a liquor store around here. Let's see. Everyone, we got to keep our manners in here. Don't want to scare people away. Jeez. All right. Well, things are winding down. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I hope we got some value. We got some good feedback from other people in here. I think we had some good mentions of books. I don't know why I'm holding up three fingers. Books. Had some good recommendations. Had another guy give a first-hand account of how he valued on-the-job experience versus going to a school. On-the-job experience is the fastest way to learn things, in my opinion. Okay. Ooh, you guys want to see my hunting knife? I'll show you my hunting knife. Oh, get the pack out here. I've got a couple of them. One's out in the truck. Gotta have a decent headlamp. You're out there hunting. This one must have been owned by someone with a big head. This is my kill kit. So I got a Havalon. I use these a lot. Extra blades for the Havalon. What else do I have in here? This one's pretty sweet. Check this out. Oh, I gotta catch up here. Look at that. It's Damascus. Pretty sweet, huh? First name Handy, last name Man. What does my wife think about the YouTube thing? She's starting to get it. At first, she didn't get it. I could probably put a link for this bad boy. I have never used this. It's just too nice. Did Alex Steele? Oh yeah, I do watch Alex Steele. He made this for me. No. Yeah, I do. I watch. He's one of the only people that I watch on a consistent basis. Any other questions out there? Showed you my rifles, my hunting knife. Oh, I love to. Someone asked if I would ever try blacksmithing. Yeah, I would love to have. That's part of the goal. Part of the entrepreneurship part of this whole thing is the goals. Financial goals, free time goals, quality of life goals, outcome of life goals. Someday I'd like to have more free time to, I don't know, bang on some hot metal. Do you do exterior painting? I have painted a few houses, entire outside of houses. I don't do it anymore. But when I first started out, I would do anything and everything. Joseph Moore asked about costly mistakes. And it got brought up in another live stream, and I can't remember a costly mistake. And I had to knock on wood because it's something you have to be prepared for. I'm in Texas, so it's not too late. What time is it? Wait a minute. I'm in between time zones here. I can't remember where the heck I am and what time zone I'm in. Oh boy. Paul asked about YouTube money versus sponsored money. It's almost half and half right now. And God, they've been coming in like crazy since the views are now. I think I'm going to be able to consistently maintain over 1 million views a month. I've had a couple million views a month and they dropped down to 800, 700,000. But I think I can get, I'm at the point where I can maintain 1 million views a month. What the heck are you guys talking about? Chad, we're not doing night hunts. It's something that we might think about doing in the future. A lot of the stands have actual lights that come on. For some reason, pigs don't run away from the lights, though. Oh, Jesus. Lamborghini versus Bugatti? I don't think I would take either of them. So has anybody been here for the full 2 hours and 11 minutes? Do I eat what I kill? Yeah, that's we don't buy meat. Do not buy meat at all. Fiat 500. God, it's been so long since I've owned a car. I don't know what type of car I'd want. Yes, almost me. God, you guys are losing me. Somebody else, my wife doesn't have a gun. I mean, she could shoot one of mine if she needs one. Oh, here we go. How do you prepare yourself to task any job alone, big or small jobs? How do I prepare myself? I don't really know how to answer that. Not sure what you're... Redefine that question. I'm not sure what you're asking here. Texas. Let's see, which gun am I going to use first? Anybody else there shoot? This one is kind of my long range gun. I do need to upgrade my optic. The Viper Vortex 6.5 to 20 by 50. By tomorrow night, I'll be skinning pigs. Skinning pigs on a meat pole. Pigs. Most big game seasons are over. So now it's pigs and non-indigenous animals in different states. Who must be a liberal? I'm not talking about shooting people. Shooting animals, tasty animals. Am I doing this every Thursday? Is that what the trend that we're on? Was it last Thursday that I did one from the boat? YouTube is 30 to 40 hours a month. Consistently. This year here, I'll probably, well, if I can, I'm going to try to double the effort into YouTube for 2019. that I put into it in 2018. Okay, enough with the wall and the liberal stuff. Hunting pigs is not a political statement. Is it? Really? I don't know if you have to. If is it a big deal to go hunt feral hogs in Texas, non-indigenous, species that cost millions of dollars in damage? Takes approximately. Well, it depends on the video. The video I worked on today, maybe only an hour, but you'll see. Oh shoot! I'm supposed to upload that tonight. So there is a video tomorrow, I think. Fridays are the worst day for me to upload, so I'll probably put it on. Probably put it out on Saturday. It's I'll tell you the title. It's gonna be "Risking My Life for $2,000," and it's not clickbait. And you will see what I mean in the video, and you'll be like, "Dude, you're crazy." So yeah, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of editing while I'm down here. Plank on the ladder, that's right. And it's, while I was editing the video, it looks much more shady on video than it did in those few pictures that I put up on Instagram. Man, you got tons of crap on Insta. What does that mean? Oh, like pictures and videos and stuff? I'm trying to grow the Instagram to 10,000. I think I'm real close to 7,000 followers on Instagram. How long did it take for views to start coming in? I don't know. You guys can go to Social Blade, and there's a couple things you can click on. You can go way back to the timeline and to see monthly views, and you can start to see it gain traction and go up, up, and up. All right, what do we got here? How long did it take for the views to come in? Good morning from Australia. Good morning, Australia. Any other questions? Couldn't fit between those. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Australia. Oh, people are dropping out. Looks like people are losing interest. I don't want to just sit here and read comments on camera for you. When do you do your editing? Usually at night. I edit, upload, and then it usually is scheduled for the next day or so. Yeah, past everyone's bedtime. I gotta get up early, head over to hog camp. I'm going way out in the middle of nowhere, off grid, seriously off grid. So, but there might be cell phone service there. All right. On your what? Ski Mac. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and the questions. Again, once this video is processed, the comments will be available. There's a lot of good suggestions from people on the books, and I'll definitely put that link in here in the description tonight. So you can get the description, you can get that link tonight here in about 5 minutes. And the comments, all these things that you guys are talking will be available 5-6 hours or something like that. Ever hunt with a cordless framing nailer? I don't know if I would, no, I haven't. I'm trying to think of something funny this day. No, haven't hunted with a framing nailer. I think I knew someone that would shot like a raccoon or something with one. Not a cordless though, it was still hooked up to air. So yeah, wait, oh, we got another one. Gary's contracting. I think it is probably a good decision to focus, specialize. Though I don't know why I haven't. Maybe because it's my skill set that I've been doing this for so long, over so many years, that there's a lot of things that I can do pretty darn good and have been successful at. So I'm not going to change the business model. But I do think focusing on a specialty trade is a good idea. Safety fourth. No, it's safety first when there's guns involved. Definitely safety first. Hey, Alfredo DC5. We will do that in another topic, another live stream. All right, I'm gonna get this.